Chapter 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A gift from Li Junyu. Meng Meng, go online now and let's play together. You haven't played for some time, so you must be getting a little rusty. I'm the perfect partner to practice with. Meng Meng took her phone away from her ear, looked at the cracked screen, put it back and said, I can't. I broke my phone. Wait until I buy a new one first. It's fine if we don't play Honor of Kings. Let's play LOL if that's the case. Go and get a computer. Meng Meng knew clearly that nobody was as enthusiastic as Mu Jingxing when it came to games. She let out a sigh and said, I can't play that either. I'm at my friend's house, remember. I shouldn't be using their computer. Mu Jingxing thought about it for a while and agreed with what she said. After letting out a helpless sigh, Mu Jingxing, a thought suddenly struck just when he was about to hang up. Oh, by the way, Meng Meng, there's something that I almost forgot to tell you. It's about Gu Xian. He seems to be dating Wan Jiaojiao. Actually, Mu Jingxing already knew about it a few days ago. However, he hesitated and was unsure whether he should tell Meng Meng about it. However, almost everybody in their group knew about it now, so it was just a matter of time until Meng Meng heard about it. He thought that it was better to tell her directly, as others might exaggerate and distort the story. Brother Gu Xian. And Wan Jiaojiao. Meng Meng said with a slightly dry voice. She had been so used to calling him that, so she was not able to change her way of addressing him at the moment. Yeah. I heard that they've been dating for a while now. Mu Jingxing was confused, as all their friends knew that Meng Meng likes Gu Xian and that they were engaged. However, now, Gu Xian not only called off the engagement, he even started dating Wan Jiaojiao. Gu's family knew about the relationship between Meng Meng and Wan Jiaojiao. It was obvious that they did not care about their previous mutual relationship. From Mu Jingxing's perspective, besides being slightly more handsome and having a little bit more money, Gu Xian was just an ordinary guy in his circle of nouveau riche friends. However, as a person who was easily attracted to looks, Meng Meng had always liked Gu Xian since young. She always liked to chase after him and call him, Brother Gu Xian, sweetly. If it was other people, Meng Meng could beat them up without hesitation. However, she had always been like a little wife in front of Gu Xian. She did not even dare to speak too loudly. Gu's family ran an entertainment company whereas the Wan family ran an internet company. Since the relationship between the two families was quite good, they agreed to get them engaged. However, nobody expected the Gu family to call off the engagement just after the unexpected death of Meng Meng's sister. I see. You don't need to tell me anything about Gu Xian from now on. I don't want to know. With that being said, she hung up the phone. Who's Gu Xian? Suddenly, a deep and icy voice rang out behind her. Meng Meng was shocked. She turned around unconsciously and bumped into a cold and hard embrace. Ugh! She nearly cried out. It was always her who made people cry out loud, not the other way round. Meng Meng covered her nose and took a few steps back. Just exactly what are Li Junyu's chest muscles made up of? How could it be so hard and stiff? Why did you come in without knocking again? What's the purpose of having a door in the Li family if that's the case? She said aggrievedly and glared at him with watery eyes. However, Li Junyu remained indifferent. His thin lips moved slightly and asked again, who is Gu Xian? Is he the one who left those marks on your body? His expression was as cold as ice. His deep black eyes were emitting traces of coldness that he probably did not even notice. I don't know what you are talking about. Meng Meng looked down and averted her gaze. Of course it's not Gu Xian. How could it be Gu Xian? However, she could not say that out loud as she was indeed feeling guilty. She was afraid that Li Junyu would find out about her secret if she said so. Li Junyu's icy cold gaze was still fixed on Meng Meng. It was only when he took a step forward that Ruan Mengmeng felt a cold chill ran down her spine. Thud. He then placed something that was about the size of a palm on the table. Ruan Mengmeng turned her head slightly, and her eyes were soon shining in surprise. It was a top-notch smartphone that has not even been released. Chapter 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A familiar scent, like that woman last night. Listen. Li Junyu's slender fingers with those well-defined knuckles pinched her sharp chin without holding back. Don't cause me any trouble. I don't care who that guy is. You're not allowed to have any contact with him within the next year. She was a problem that his father had thrown at him. Li Junyu was very busy, and he did not have the time to waste on a girl in the throes of puberty like her. The revelation that Ruan Mengmeng's body was covered in hickeys especially frustrated him to no end. If Ruan Mengmeng ended up pregnant out of wedlock, he had no idea how much of a disaster that would create. This phone contains Ling Bei's, Uncle Zhao's, and the driver's number. You'll start school in 3 days, and the driver will send you there. Uncle Zhao will be in charge of all your daily needs from now on, and Ling Bei will handle your schooling matters. If you have any problems, you can call them directly. Ling Bei was one of his personal assistants, and Uncle Zhao was the butler of Li Garden. Li Junyu only considered Ruan Mengmeng an assignment to complete, so he did not plan to educate her himself. If she could behave, they could definitely stay on peaceful terms until she graduated. If she could not, however, he did not mind showing her what happened to anyone who crossed him. Ruan Mengmeng muttered to herself. Who was she supposed to come into contact with, now that Li Junting had left? However, Li Junyu's attitude really was more than a little overbearing. The force with which he pinched her chin was especially irritating. That was no way to treat a girl. Ruan Mengmeng was frustrated, so she retorted stubbornly, "Stop joking, young Master Li. I don't think the friends I make and the things I do fall under your jurisdiction. Even if I promised Uncle Li I would stay, that doesn't mean you can just order me around. You can try." The man narrowed his cold eyes slightly, the tide of darkness in his eyes rising even higher. If any man dares to touch my younger sister, Li Junyu, swear that he won't live to see tomorrow's sun. What the heck? This guy must be crazy. Ruan Mengmeng was getting a little pissed. Who are you calling your younger sister? Who I make friends with, and even who I date, none of that has anything to do with you. Seriously, what the f***ck? He was butting into everything. He was nuts. Chen Qingji is now Madam Li, so doesn't that make you my younger sister? The man tightened his right hand's grip, and Ruan Mengmeng actually felt hurt. She could not help a hiss of pain, her pretty almond eyes welling with tears as it was covered by a thin layer of mist. The girl who could stand up against him and throw a tantrum at him earlier suddenly put on an expression like a wounded little animal. It actually made Li Junyu's pitch-black pupils freeze for a second. He loosened his right hand's grip involuntarily. Just then, he finally realized with a shock that the scent filling his nostrils actually felt a little familiar. Was it, last night? Let go. You're hurting me. Ruan Mengmeng suddenly felt slightly panicky. In that instant earlier, when they were so close to each other, that man's bottomless phoenix eyes seemed to remind her of the features she saw in the darkness last night. She knew that Li Junyu and Li Junting were brothers, so they must surely look similar. She also knew very well that the man last night was Li Junting, not Li Junyu. Just now, however, when their gazes met in such close proximity, her heart began to pound despite herself. It felt as though she had returned to the most intimate moment of last night. As Ruan Mengmeng struggled, Li Junyu let go of her. She backed away. The familiar scent drifting amidst the man's nostrils vanished once more. Instead, the smell of antiseptics took its place. Li Junyu narrowed his cold eyes, his attention drawn to the dressed injury on Ruan Mengmeng's head. They were no longer so close to each other. At this distance, all he could smell was the evident scent of antiseptic wafting off of her. Lee Junyu frowned slightly and decisively refuted the suspicions in his mind. It seemed that as long as he did not find that woman from last night, these random and baseless suspicions would never disappear. When he thought of that despicable woman from last night, Lee Junyu's expression grew even colder. Even his gaze on Wan Mengmeng started to look dark and dangerous. F***ck. This man changed moods at the drop of a hat. She did not even know what she had done to tick me off. Chapter 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Young Master Lee, you're scaring your wife. Without saying a word, Lee Junyu continued to stare at Wan Mengmeng with his icy cold eyes. Although he did not say anything, his imperious aura was so overwhelming that he could easily make anyone bow and kneel on their knees. Just when Wan Mengmeng met his gaze, she felt a chill in her heart followed by a wave of fear and guilt that she found hard to control. She was not sure why she was feeling guilty, but the longer she looked into Lee Junyu's deep, dark eyes, the more she felt so. It was as if she had done something wrong to him. Ah, this is what fear feels like. Throughout the 19 years of her life, the person whose aura alone could make her feel inferior was no other but her sisters, Wan Shishir. She could be fearless in front of everybody else, but she would feel like a scolded child in front of her sister. Now, it seemed that there would be one more person who could suppress her. Sure enough, her sister was right. A person's aura was way more powerful than one's fists. Besides that, she was not so confident that she could beat Lee Junyu in a fistfight either. I heard what you said just now. As the saying goes, a wise man does not fight when the odds are against him. Wan Mengmeng decided to accept her defeat. She bit her lower lip. This was what she does subconsciously whenever she was feeling nervous. However, this habit of hers was seen from a different perspective in the eyes of Lee Junyu. Lee Junyu was still staring at her imperiously. He saw the young girl's hazel eyes blinking at him with a hint of helplessness. Lee Junyu's dark eyes seemed to darken even more. His icy eyes seemed to narrow into slits and suddenly, one could feel a sense of danger that could not be ignored. Almost instinctively, Wan Mengmeng could not help but lean backward slightly. However, the edge of the desk against her waist reminded her that she could not back up anymore. Don't be mad. I told you just now, I'll listen to whatever you say. I'll be a good girl. It was as though Wan Mengmeng's animal instincts told her to beg for mercy. She did not have a mother since young, and her sister Wan Shishir had been abroad for years. In order for her to grow up peacefully in the Wan family, she relied not only on her brute strength and luck but also on her keen eye for danger. Although Lee Junyu who was standing in front of her looked perfectly calm apart from the icy cold stare, Wan Mengmeng clearly felt that there was a storm raging inside him that she could not possibly overcome. Good. After a long silence, Lee Junyu finally spoke. He looked at her with his icy cold eyes and said in a dangerously low voice, "Remember what you said just now so that you won't regret later." He then turned around and left after saying those words. Phew. After seeing that Lee Junyu's imperious aura had vanished, Wan Mengmeng placed her hand on the table and breathed out a sigh of relief. This is crazy. How could there be such a person? Wan Mengmeng had never been suppressed mentally like this by anyone before. However, when she was looking into Lee Junyu's piercing cold eyes, she felt fear in every inch of her body and soul. He was so terrifying. Wan Mengmeng made up her mind. She would take a detour whenever she sees Lee Junyu in the future. She would never dare to provoke a man like him. Chapter 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Set a price and play with me. Wan Mengmeng was looking incredibly sullen as she had been hurt by Lee Junyu both mentally and physically just now. She was so angry. She was about to explode with anger. Although she was being tormented by Lee Junyu, this did not mean that she could not torment others. Ruan Mengmeng blinked her beautiful hazel eyes and fixed her gaze at the top-notch smartphone on the table. She turned it on, activated it and downloaded a game after connecting it to the internet. Being tormented in reality, she hoped to get her compensation in the virtual world. Hence, an ID that has not been used for over a year suddenly reappeared in the game. Oh my God! Lord Moe, you're back online. Lord Moe, is it really you? Have you thought about the deal I proposed last year? Do you want to enter our club? Goodness me, Lord Moe is finally back online. I've been waiting for you for more than 100 years already. The account Lord Moe Rules the World had been receiving numerous pop-up messages as soon as it was logged into the game. Glancing at the messages, Ruan Mengmeng realized that they were all from the studios that she had worked with before, as well as the club that tried to poach her before. However, she was not in the mood to reply to any of them at the moment. Firstly, she had not played for quite some time, so she might be getting a little rusty. She had not played for nearly 2 seasons, so her rank had dropped quite a lot. Secondly, all she wanted to do now was to vent her anger. She could always start earning money tomorrow. For now, she only wanted to bully the newbies. As a result, the newbies of a certain popular game was badly bullied that night. A gamer with the ID of Lord Moe Rules the World had ranked up from the lowest bronze level up to Platinum 1. If it was not for the fact that so many things happened during the day and her head injuries, Ruan Mengmeng might be able to stay up until past midnight and rank up until the diamond level. However, now. Phew. I'm almost done. Looking at the shiny platinum badge in the game, Ruan Mengmeng put down her phone. After venting out her anger, Ruan Mengmeng decided to take a break and start accepting those game invitations tomorrow, now that she already had a proper warm-up session. At the same time, another room in the villa. Brother, it's all your fault. You're so noob. You can't even beat a girl. Li Juanxi, aren't you noob as well? If it wasn't for you who ganked at the wrong time, we wouldn't have lost to her. The handsome young man said with a dark expression. The lollipop in his mouth felt tasteless now. Being emotionless at first, the little Shota boy's expression darkened suddenly upon hearing his brother's words. Humph, somebody here can't even beat a girl in games. If you weren't completely suppressed by her, how could she possibly have the money to buy 2 more extra items? Humph, how do you even know if it's a girl? Li Junche refused to admit defeat and said sulkily while eating his lollipop. The game ID is Lord Moe Rules the World. Of course it's a girl. The little Shota boy pouted and said innocently, third brother, you're really a disgrace. The Bishanen's expression went cold as soon he heard what his little brother said. He turned around, grabbed his collar and threw him onto the bed. He then started spanking him. You're such a meanie, third brother. How can you spank me? I won't play with you anymore, let's break up. I'm going to find Big Brother. Boo-hoo-hoo. With that, the strong brotherhood between the third and fourth young master of the Li family was shattered to pieces. Just when Ruan Mengmeng finished replying to the studio that she had worked with previously and was about to exit the game, 2 friend requests popped up on the screen. Darling baby is invincible. Powerful one, help me to rank up in honor of kings for me, and the price is whatever you set. Bishanen and this lollipop. Name a price and play with me. Chapter 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. An unexpected phone call. Li Junche and Li Juanxi had been waiting for a reply from Lord Moe ever since they went back to their rooms. However, their friend requests have not been accepted even after waiting for 1 whole night. The next morning, Ruan Mengmeng ran into the Bishanen and the Shota boy just when she entered the dining room. The Bishanen had dark under-eye circles whereas the Shota boy had a cold expression. What are you looking at? Haven't you seen somebody who burnt the midnight oil before? Known for his bad temper, the Shota boy glared at Ruan Mengmeng as he said angrily. He then took his plate and sat at a nearby seat. Li Junche was staring at her coldly as well, but he averted his gaze as soon he remembered Big Brother's warning. Bring breakfast up to my room. I'll eat it upstairs. Li Junche fled the scene after saying that. He was afraid that he could not help but reach out to knead Ruan Mengmeng's pink and tender cheeks. Ruan Mengmeng ate her breakfast in confusion. As for Li Junyu, who left in anger last night, he did not show up this morning. It was for the best. She did not want to see him. After eating, Ruan Mengmeng went upstairs and chatted with Chen Qingji. She only went back to her room after seeing that Chen Qingji was tired and needed to rest. The next 2 days of her life were basically a repetition of what happened on the first day. Besides eating and accompanying Chen Qingji, she spent the whole day earning money by playing games in her room. In addition to playing games on her phone, she even asked Uncle Zhao to get her a high-spec laptop with the excuse that she needed one for school-based research. After 3 days, Ruan Mengmeng's eyes gleamed in delight when she saw that there was 20,000 renminbi in her bank account. The corner of her lips curled up and 2 shallow dimples appeared on her face. At this rate, it would not be long before she could save up the amount needed for the detective agency. Suddenly, there was a pop-up message from her usual QQ group. It was from a studio that she previously worked with. Lord Mo, there's an urgent request for you. The client wants you to reach the highest rank in King of Honors in 1 day, and the price is not bad. Are you in? Not at the moment, she typed. I need to do something tomorrow, so I'll have to rest early today. Tomorrow was the first day of school, and she would have to listen to a lecture given by her former class teacher. She was an important person to be looked after in her class. Her class teacher, old Zhang, was quite nice to her, apart from being slightly naggy. Lord Mo, didn't you say that you're in need of money lately? Live broadcasts are a thing right now, so why don't you go live as well, since your skills are so amazing? I know a broadcast platform that is short of people. Ruan Mengmeng thought about it for a moment. She then decided to reject the offer as going live meant revealing her true face. She thanked the studio for the offer and went offline. Right after she shut down her computer, her previous phone with the cracked screen rang out suddenly. It was a customized ringtone. She immediately picked up the call automatically. Hello, Dad. Ruan Mengmeng was thrilled as her father was finally giving her a call. It's me, old Madam Ruan's icy cold voice rang out from the other end. What excitement that she had died down immediately by the cold voice. Oh. Grandmother. What can I do for you? You little brat, is this how you talk to your grandmother? Old Madame Ruan said with a hint of anger as she still remembered that it was Ruan Mengmeng who pushed Qin Fong down the stairs. She would never let it slide if anything were to happen to her grandson. I don't care where you are now, come home next weekend. There's something you need to do. Old Madame Ruan was not worried at all whether Ruan Mengmeng had a place to stay or if she was eating well. She had left her family for 3 days, and the first phone call she got from them was just about this small matter. Ruan Mengmeng refused and said, I'm not free next week. You little brat, just do as I say. Did you think I'd call you if it wasn't for your grandfather? Upon hearing her words, Ruan Mengmeng was slightly shocked. What's wrong with grandfather? Has his condition gotten worse again? Bah! Don't you dare curse your grandfather. Just do as I say, come home next week, or else you won't get to see him again. After scolding her, old Madame Ruan hung up the phone. Mother, Mengmeng had already been forced to leave home. Why? Why would you say such things? Ruan Zhaotian, who overheard the call, could not help but stand up for Ruan Mengmeng. Forced to leave? Who forced her to leave? She dug her own grave. Old Madame Ruan sneered coldly and could not care less. Let me make this clear. Don't be soft-hearted when she comes home next week. When she was admitted to the hospital after she fell down the stairs, we saw everything. There were kiss marks all over her neck and chest, proving that she was with some other men. Gu Xian will be hurt if he continues to stay with her. Even so, it's still not right to ask Meng Meng to come back and explain it to father, isn't it? The Gu family had already called off the engagement, and Gu Xian has cut all ties with her too. Bah! Your father is not aware that the Gu family had called off the engagement. If she doesn't admit that it was her fault, if she doesn't tell your father that she doesn't deserve Gu Xian, your father will never allow Gu Xian to date Wan Jiaojiao. Anyway, you stay out of this, I have my way of handling it. Chapter 26. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. A change on the first day of school. The following day, September 1st, was the first day of school. Ruan Mengmeng was worried about her grandfather last night, so she went to sleep late. When she got up in the morning, the third and fourth young masters of the Li family had already been sent to school by their driver. She ate her breakfast in a hurry, got in the car, and was ready to report herself at City No. 1 High School. Since her school uniform was left at the Ruan family, she was wearing a light blue dress which she had simply found in the wardrobe. It did not matter anyway. Old Zhang would definitely have a way of getting her a new uniform when she arrived at school later. However, halfway during the journey to school, Ruan Mengmeng felt that something was off. Assistant Ling, this is not the way to City No. 1 High School. Although she did not drive, she made a point to memorize the way to school. The car was heading in the opposite direction of City No. 1 High School. Ling Bei, who sat in the driver's seat, turned around and said coldly, "Young lady, this is the way to Wisdom Private Academy." Wisdom Academy. I'm a student at City No. 1 High School. Yes, that was before, but not now, Ling Bei said respectfully and kept his distance. First young master thinks that, for you to get a good education, you should transfer to the top school in S City. You've been through grade detention twice. First young master wanted me to relay a message. If you do not want to go through grade detention for the third time, you should cooperate with me. Although Ling Bei, the man who wore a pair of golden glasses, was the person talking to her, Ruan Mengmeng could not help but feel that those words were spoken by Li Junyu himself. She could imagine the way Li Junyu saying it in a warning and threatening tone. She could even imagine the expression he would have on his face, one filled with arrogance and supremacy. How dare he transfer me to another school without my consent? Given the current circumstances, she decided not to cooperate. We shall see who would have the upper hand in this. Oh, I see. Ruan Mengmeng nodded. Her silky black hair swayed slightly while she nodded, making her look elegant and graceful. Thanks for telling me, Assistant Ling. Please convey my thanks to Big Brother. Big Brother. Ling Bei blurted out. He did not manage to suppress his confusion. Ruan Mengmeng smiled at him sweetly and said, "Yeah, that's right. A few days ago, Big Brother told me that I'm now his sister, and if anybody dares to bully me, he'll be sure to make them pay. I didn't expect Big Brother to be so nice to me. He even went through the trouble to transfer me to a top school in S City. Oh, yeah. Young lady, don't worry, I'll relay your message to him." Ling Bei turned his head back, his stiff expression now filled with surprise. What happened to first young master? He's actually being nice to a girl who is not even related to him. He thought that first young master was just finding an easy way out by sending her to a random school that provided a better education so that President Li would not bug him too much. He never expected the first young master to treat this girl as his own sister. Ling Bei, who suddenly realized his true intentions, immediately changed his attitude towards Ruan Mengmeng, as she was now considered an important person in the Li family. "Young lady, we're here." This time, Ling Bei personally opened the door for Ruan Mengmeng. Ruan Mengmeng shot him a smile and got off the car. The Li family's luxury car was stopped right in front of the school's office. Today was the first day of school for the top school in S City, Wisdom Private Academy. At the moment, all primary and secondary students, as well as all teachers, were gathered in the auditorium for the opening ceremony. Being informed about Ruan Mengmeng's transfer, the school's assistant chairman was the only person waiting for Ruan Mengmeng at the office building. Assistant Ling, I'm very sorry to tell you this. We've already settled Miss Ruan's enrollment procedures, but according to the rules, all transfer students must first sit for a test. Only then we will enroll her in a class based on the results. The assistant chairman said that to Ling Bei firmly, yet respectfully, and handed him a set of test papers while they were in the director's office. Apart from cutting-edge facilities and a team of dedicated teachers, adhering to its rules and regulations at all times was what made Wisdom Academy a top school in the city. Glancing at the test papers, Ling Bei said coldly, "First young master has made it clear that our young lady should only be studying at the best class in Wisdom Academy." Chapter 27 You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Ruan Mengmeng's ultimate skill, The assistant chairman was in a dilemma. Although young Master Li was the main director of Wisdom Private Academy, in the absence of the chairman and other directors, he did not have a say in this matter as he was just an assistant himself. Young Master Li's request was at such short notice, many things have yet to be prepared. It's okay, Assistant Ling. Since I've been transferred to Wisdom Private Academy, I should abide by their rules. I don't mind sitting for a test. Ruan Mengmeng gave a light pat on Ling Bei's shoulder and took the test paper. Seeing Ruan Mengmeng's confident look, Ling Bei thought that she would be fine, given that she had been through grade detention twice. Sitting for a small streaming test at her third senior year should not be much of a problem. Hence, he looked at Ruan Mengmeng with relief when she walked into the office with the test papers. Less than half an hour, Ruan Mengmeng had handed in the papers and walked out of the room. "Young lady, you're done already?" Ling Bei asked in surprise. Up until this point, he never thought that Ruan Mengmeng was good in studies. He never expected that it only took her half an hour to finish Wisdom Private Academy's entrance exam. No wonder first young master thinks of her as his own sister. He must have known that she's a genius. What made you think that I finished it? Ruan Mengmeng glanced at him and said, "I only did the multiple-choice questions. What? All the other subjective questions for science had the words, explain, or proof, in them. Our class teacher, old Zhang, once said that we could get 1 or 2 marks if the examiner is in a good mood." Are you serious? Ling Bei was mind-blown. Don't worry. Ruan Mengmeng patted his shoulder lightly and said, "I was at my best just now, so I'm sure that I did better than when I was in City No. 1 high school." She yawned and said lazily, "Wisdom Private Academy is indeed a top school. The test was so difficult. Thankfully, I have my ultimate skill." Ultimate skill. Ling Bei was mind-blown already, and he was not sure if he wanted to ask further. Choose the shortest answer if there are 3 long ones, choose the longest answer if there are 3 short ones, choose C as the answer if there are 2 short and 2 long answers, and choose B as the answer if they're almost the same length. Ruan Mengmeng raised her chin, her hazel eyes gleaming in delight. This is your ultimate skill. Ling Bei was mind-blown completely. He almost had a heart attack. Ling Bei could just imagine how disdainful the assistant's expression would be when he walked out with the test papers later. It's okay if her grades are not good. She should at least take it seriously. What she did was no different than handing in a blank test paper. First young master would be so embarrassed. At this moment, the assistant walked out with the test paper. "Assistant Ling, the results are out." Avoiding eye contact, Ling Bei turned around and forced an awkward smile. Ruan Mengmeng didn't do most of the subjective questions. It seems that she isn't good at those. Oh no, oh no. First young master, I feel sorry for you. However, she did quite well in the multiple-choice questions. She got almost all of them correct. The 3 questions that she did wrong was probably because she didn't read the questions carefully and thought they were subjective questions. What? Ling Bei was speechless. What the H*LL? Is he telling me that the ultimate skill she told me just now can really be trusted? How could she possibly get all questions correct except for those 3? Unfortunately, according to our enrollment rules, given her total score, Wan Mengmeng should enter the 7th class, but since she only answered multiple-choice questions, we have no choice but to enroll her into the last class, which is the 13th class, to be fair. What? The last class? Refusing to accept the decision, Ling Bei said, no. Class 13th is the last class in the academy. Our young lady can never enter such a class. Since her total score makes her qualified to enter the 7th class, she shall enter the 7th class instead. Chapter 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Officially accepted into Wisdom Academy. Although Class 7th was not one of the best classes, it was still considered an average class by any means. It would not be embarrassing for someone to transfer out of City No. 1 High School and be placed in the 7th class of Wisdom Academy. However, if she were to be put into Class 13th, Ling Bei would have a hard time explaining it to First Young Master. I'm sorry, Assistant Ling, but these are the rules of Wisdom Academy, the assistant said in a respectful yet firm manner. This rule regarding streaming students into different classes based on their ability was implemented to prevent them from copying answers, especially multiple-choice questions. Never mind, Assistant Ling. I don't mind being in Class 13th. I heard that there are several tests held throughout each semester, so I guess I'll just have to study harder from now on, Wan Mengmeng said as she tried persuading Ling Bei. Others would assume she was just an incredibly understanding person judging from her reaction to the news. Though it was actually because on the inside she was ecstatic. Class 13th in Wisdom Academy was the class where all the nouveau riches were gathered. Her best friend, Mu Jingxing, happened to be in Class 13th as well. Upon seeing that Wan Mengmeng was such an understanding girl, the assistant chairman grew fonder of her. Just moments ago, he had marked the test paper. Although he was not sure of the reasoning behind it, he could tell that Wan Mengmeng intentionally chose not to answer the subjective questions. If she approached things more seriously, nothing would be able to stand in her way. Since Wan Mengmeng did not mind being in Class 13th, Ling Bei chose not to say much more and accompanied Wan Mengmeng through the final procedures. Just when the assistant chairman stepped out for a while, he immediately asked, "Young lady Mengmeng, is what you said about the 3 short and 1 long technique true?" "Yeah, of course it is," Wan Mengmeng nodded. "However, it varies from person to person. It doesn't work for everybody." "Oh, it depends on the person." Ling Bei thought of the promotion assessment that he had failed several times. If he mastered the technique, his year-end bonus would be doubled. Of course it depends. Luck is another important factor as well. Everyone's luck varies. For me, I'll be sure to get an SSR whenever there's a prize draw event. I never bought any of my heroes' skin with cash, I won them all purely from drawing them, as well as my equipment. My critical hit rate is also higher than other people. My best run of luck was drawing another bottle 18 times in a row when I bought a drink. Your luck will have to be as good as mine to play that. Oh, is that so? Ling Bei gasped in awe. All of a sudden, he felt as though Wan Mengmeng had grown much taller and radiated shining rays of golden light. If her luck was as good as she says, she could have easily made a fortune through winning the lottery. Miss Wan, these are your textbooks and your student card. I've already informed your class teacher, Miss Lee. You'll find her in her office on the 4th floor of the senior year building. Your school uniform will be ready in a week, and it'll be given to you by your class teacher. The assistant chairman walked toward them, interrupting their conversation. Wan Mengmeng took her things and put them into her school bag before thanking him for his time. She then said to Ling Bei, "I'm going to report to class. I can go home by myself, so I won't need the driver to pick me up later." "Wait, young lady, but..." Without waiting for Ling Bei to finish his sentence, Wan Mengmeng had already disappeared around the corner. Looking at her disappearing figure, Ling Bei thought of something and said to the assistant chairman behind him, for the time being, do not tell others that young Master Li transferred a girl to Wisdom Academy. He wishes to keep this as low-profile as possible. At first, Ling Bei did not understand why young Master Li did not contact and bring the request up with the chairman personally, but after a few seconds, he seemed to have understood why. Given young Lady Meng Meng's grades, young Master Li must have felt embarrassed for her, as she could only make it into the 13th class. The assistant chairman was slightly stunned, but he then nodded and said, "Rest assured, I know what to do." It seemed like he would not have to pay much attention to Ruan Mengmeng from now on. Though there was not even a sliver of doubt that only because of young Master Li did she manage to get a place in the prestigious Wisdom Academy, it was no more than a small favor from him. With that, Ruan Mengmeng was officially accepted into Wisdom Academy and began her third senior year for the third time. In the senior year building, Li Xiuli, the class teacher as well as the language teacher of class 13th, looked Ruan Mengmeng up and down. She squinted her eyes slightly and asked in an inquisitive tone, "What is your relationship with Ruan Jiaojiao, the girl studying in the first class?" Chapter 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lord Mo to the rescue. Upon hearing her question, Ruan Mengmeng narrowed her eyes. She was only there to show up. She would have never thought that this would be the first question asked by her teacher. She could not help but take a glance, scanning her from head to toe. Her language teacher, Li Xiuli, did not seem young and would at most be in her 40s. Besides, she also seemed like a serious and professional person. She did not look like the kind of person who would deliberately pick a fight with someone. "Teacher Li, how does this have anything to do with my enrollment?" Without giving her a straight answer, Ruan Mengmeng chose to take a more evasive approach. Li Xiuli's initial serious expression darkened further. She paused briefly and asked her another question, "What about Ruan Shishir then? Do you know who she is?" Upon hearing her sister's name being mentioned, Ruan Mengmeng was short of breath. Her sister had previously studied at Wisdom Private Academy and was widely regarded as a legend amongst the students. At the age of 13, Ruan Shishir had skipped multiple grades and went directly to year 3 whilst studying at Wisdom Private Academy. Within a single year there, she had been granted admission into a famous overseas university and got her MBA in just 3 years. Although she had only studied at Wisdom Private Academy for a year, Ruan Mengmeng heard from Mu Jingxing that a large number of her sister's juniors were also huge fans of hers. This was regardless of the fact that the academy was already swarming with geniuses. "She's my sister." Ruan Mengmeng did not hesitate to admit their relationship. Ruan Shishir was her sister, the person she cared about most in her life, unlike Ruan Jiaojiao, who she did not want to get even the least bit involved with. "If that's the case, Ruan Jiaojiao who's studying in class 1 is your younger sister, right?" Ruan Mengmeng frowned at Li Xiuli's question. This was why she did not want to study at Wisdom Private Academy. The thought that everything she did here would be linked with that illegitimate girl disgusted her. Seeing that Ruan Mengmeng remained silent, Li Xiuli took it as a yes. "Well then, I have no further questions. Go to your class and find an empty seat. I'm busy with other work." Without introducing her to the academy nor her classmates, she was dismissed. Li Xiuli did not even offer to take her to class. Ruan Mengmeng was not sure if what she thought was true or whether it was just a misunderstanding. She felt that Teacher Li's eyes expressed a hint of coldness along with flashes of hatred when she answered her question. Could it be that she was previously offended by my sister or something? What a weird school. That was my first time meeting her, but she made it look like we were enemies in our past life, Ruan Mengmeng muttered to herself while walking toward class 13th. Just when she turned into a corridor, she saw a student being cornered near the stairs by 5 or 6 people. The student was wearing Wisdom Academy's school uniform. Bullying happens here too. Without wanting to cause any trouble, Ruan Mengmeng was about to take a detour, but she suddenly heard a familiar name. "Mu Jingxing, shut the F***ck up and give me my money. Don't lie to me that you don't have any money." Give me my money now, or you'll be sorry when you meet my fist in a couple more seconds. Screw you. Lying on the floor, Mu Jingxing refused to admit defeat and said unyieldingly, I won't give any of my money to scumbags like you. Beat me to death if you can, otherwise, just you wait for my revenge. Ha, how can someone like you take revenge on us? A fat student, who appeared to be the leader of the group, said in disdain. I would have believed you back then, but now, Senior Gu Xian has taken away all your men. Just look at you now, where are all the so-called brothers of yours? Humph, don't do anything stupid and just make sure you pay your protection fees every month. By doing that, you might still be able to survive in Wisdom Academy, otherwise. The fat bully balled up his fists, ready to punch Mu Jingxing's handsome face. It seems like what that guy said was true. This little rascal would not get away with being uncooperative without first suffering some pain. Just when his fist was about to smash into Mu Jingxing's face, a fair and slender hand reached out suddenly and parried the blow. The bully's fat fist was gripped tightly. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Ruan Mengmeng asked the fatty with a cold expression on her beautiful face. Her seemingly fragile hand parried the blow with ease. Chapter 30. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Taught a lesson by Ruan Mengmeng. The fatty and the others were rooted to the spot from shock. Nobody would have ever expected a petite and delicate girl like her to come to the rescue. The girl that stood in front of them had long, soft black hair like seaweed. She had snow-white skin and eyes that sparkled. The flutter of her eyelashes was like a delicate feather brushing gently along the tip of one's heart. Her slim waist and body curves were dangerously seductive, but at the same time, it gave off a refreshing appearance like a green apple. With her bright eyes, straight teeth and exquisite body curves, the girl in front of them had both the temperament of a little girl as well as that of a young lady. Even a brief glare from her crystal-clear eyes was enough to make one weak at the knees. Anyone would have secretly hoped that she would hold on to their hand forever, let alone a fatty. With a sly smile, the fatty said, Hey, gorgeous, it seems that you know Mu Jingxing and have come to his rescue. Well, we can always let him off the hook. Come, let me kiss you, and I'll promise not to. Ouch. 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 Let go of me. Suddenly, the fatty's words were stuck in his throat and his face grimaced in pain. Still gripping onto his fist, Ruan Mengmeng gave a tug and the sound of his bones cracking was heard. My arm. Help. She broke my arm. At first, the others thought that the fatty was just teasing her, but observing for a while, they soon realized that something was off. They only reacted after seeing that the fatty's originally pale face had turned as red as a tomato. Let go of him now. Damn it, let go of him right now. Though feeling unthreatened, Ruan Mengmeng flung his hand away. By doing that, everybody then saw that the fatty's right arm was dangling pitifully by his side. My arm. The fatty looked in horror at his dislocated right arm in which he could no longer feel anything. He then looked up at Ruan Mengmeng with his eyes wide open. He could not believe that a delicate-looking girl like her could dislocate his shoulder with such ease. Damn it, how dare you bully our big brother? Come on, let's teach this B***itch a lesson. The remaining 5 lunged forward, hoping to get their hands on her after seeing that she was outnumbered. Unexpectedly. Thud. 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 After 5 loud thuds, all 5 of them were howling in pain as they rolled on the ground. Know your place. Ruan Mengmeng sneered coldly. It seemed that Wisdom Academy was full of scumbags, after seeing the way they chose to bully people who were severely outnumbered. She then turned around and helped Mu Jingxing to get on his feet. He was still in shock as his mouth was still gaping wide open. Mu Jingxing came back to his senses only after they had walked quite a distance. Mengmeng, tell me I'm not dreaming. Is it really you? You came all the way to Wisdom Academy to rescue me. Mu Jingxing said with a flash of admiration in his eyes. He wanted to give her a hug and cry so badly. Wan Mengmeng was speechless. I didn't come all the way here to save you, I just happened to be here. I've been transferred and I'll be studying here at Wisdom Academy from now on. What? You've been transferred to our school? Wan Mengmeng had expected the shock she would see on Mu Jingxing's face. From childhood experience, Mu Jingxing knew that she would not enjoy studying at a private academy. She did not like to be in the same school as Ruan Jiaojiao. However, Ruan Mengmeng did not seem to notice that apart from being in shock, there was a flash of worry on Mu Jingxing's face. The worrying expression he had was as though he did not want Ruan Mengmeng to be transferred here, at all.